I'm hoping everybody's having a beautiful day. Today, for everybody that don't know, Tory Lanez was going to court. They had to go make sure the courts had to hold the hearing in order to see if he was going to go through the appeal process. I believe they wanted to either get time knocked off or a new trial, whatever. It doesn't matter. They was told no. Tory Lanez is going to have to go serve the 10 years that he was given by the court system. I just came in here to let y'all know about that. I'll go over the court. I'll go over the case a little bit so we can just get an understanding about what happens. Remember, this is the one where Tory Lanez was found guilty of shooting Meg Thee Stallion in the foot. One of the reasons I personally believe why he got as much time as he's gotten is because when the judges told him, the court told him to stay off of the internet, he decided not to. When Megan Thee Stallion then responded back to comments that was made under her own Instagram that had nothing to do with Tory Lanez, she then blamed it on Tory Lanez and said that Tory Lanez had sent people after her. I'm not saying that this is not a thing that had happened, but that encouraged her to speak. And then when she spoke, Tory Lanez responded. Tory Lanez responding was against what the court order had said. He could not respond on the internet, nor could he say anything at all regarding this case. If you understand or remember, basically, Tory Lanez was the accused, and the victim was Meg Thee Stallion. So they generally allow for the victim to be able to speak on whatever happened to them. To try to tell a victim that they can't speak on what happened to them is actually kind of cruel. So usually victims do have the right to speak on the matter. So I'm guessing what Megan Thee Stallion was probably alluding to, and probably why the courts probably also agreed that she was being attacked on purpose in order for her to then say things, in order for Tory Lanez to then say, look, I have a reason to respond back. I believe that is the tactic that the courts probably thought that they were using, and that's why the courts then said that even if Meg Thee Stallion says something, he does not have the right to speak back, because that's what Meg Thee Stallion was complaining about. Now, I'm not saying that is what happened. Obviously, we don't know. Nobody has come out and said that they got paid to do this in any capacity, and it could have just had been fans that decided that they didn't like, that they were rooting for one side over the other, or the other side over the one. Now, with that being said, that's probably also why just recently when Meg Thee Stallion was backstage with Justin Timberlake, there was a uproar made over a interaction that they had. Apparently, one of them was talking to the other one, and the other one was talking to the one. Use that twice. And while they was doing this, there was a lot of hand motions. So people off to the side was like, "They's the fightings." But Meg Thee Stallion and her team has said, and I believe Justin Timberlake's team also has said, was it Justin Timberlake? Yeah, Justin Timberlake. I was about to say Justin Bieber. Sometimes I get those twos mixed up. I don't actually get them mixed up. I just say the name like interchangeably. But if I saw them in the same place, I wouldn't think they were twins. Anyway, so apparently they were just, going at it. They're long friends, and it was nothing. But the point that I wanted to make by bringing that up is, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people start thinking that situations involve Meg Thee Stallion and any guy that might go left in any manner whatsoever, they might immediately jump on to say that it's an adversarial point of view. Some people might be doing this to defend her, and other people might be trying to do this to villainize her. I don't think that's fair at all in either regard. With that being said, Tory Lanez is going to have to spend, he's been sentenced to 10 years for the crime. Obviously, when he get out, I also expect for him to, because he's Canadian, right? Like, this isn't this isn't new to anybody, right? He's not an American, he's a Canadian. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I mean, I like maple syrup just as much as the next guy. I do not like maple syrup at all. I don't like maple syrup at all. I just want to be clear about this. That's like the worst syrup. Like, how is that a thing? Like, I know we get it out of trees. Like, where do we get the other syrup from? The good syrup? You know what? Screw syrup. I'd rather do honey. I think honey has more medicinal properties anyway, right? I believe so. I mean, I have no idea. Just maple syrup is trash. With that being said, so he is Canadian. So I'm expecting upon his release, he's gonna most likely be kicked out of the country. I don't think they're gonna be like, look, your shots in the feet. Also, I just want to say this, and I'm saying this more as a joke than anything else. I'm not trying to disrespect her, because she could have just been saying it to sound slangish on the internet. But didn't we just hear about her getting graduating from a college, and then she said she got shot in the feet? So I'm not sure how I feel about that. Anyway, in any regard, the story that we're gonna go over the actually events of the night, just so we can be clear. So the story that Tory Lanez initially told, or what was put out there by his team, at least I'm assuming, was a story that we've all basically heard. I think there was at least a dude that did an interview. He was supposed to be the bodyguard. We don't really know if he's the bodyguard. I mean, but he's supposed to be the bodyguard that was there that night. In any regard, they went to a party that was held by Kylie Jenner. At the party, there was a little bit of the story goes either way, but for all intents and purposes, they were told to remove themselves from the party. Upon them removing themselves from the party, there was a fisticuffs that happened or didn't happen inside of the car that caused for Meg Thee Stallion at one point or another to get out of the vehicle. She said she got out of the vehicle because she decided to walk. Whatever. After that happened, is when everything actually even turns on its head even more. There's a witness that said that when Meg Thee Stallion got out of the vehicle first, before she got out of the vehicle, there was a fight inside of the vehicle, and a witness actually says that they believe that the two women was having an encounter, and then after that, the witness then had said once again, I believe, that there was two women, and then they had to be separated, and so we don't know what the hell happened. In any regard, he got found guilty. The story that was given just doesn't make sense. Even the story which caught him guilty. Just so we could be clear, there were two witnesses that took the stand against him. Meg Thee Stallion and his friend. Their stories were not copy and paste. They did not fit together. So while I tell the story about how he was convicted, it's going to always sound discombobulated, because there were three stories that were told that don't even go together. But Tory Lanez's lawyer, for whatever the reason was, didn't decide to pick them apart. I have no idea why. And I'm not saying that Tory Lanez is innocent at all. I'm just saying I don't believe that he had competent attorneys, or they were acting competently, or, you know, maybe they went vacationing after the verdict. So I just want to be clear about that. So, because I'm telling the story and it don't make any sense, but this is all different things that was said in the courtroom. What did I leave out? That they were drunk? I left that part out. But, I mean, they were at a party. Saying that they were drunk could add to me trying to leave an excuse for somebody other than Tory Lanez, right? What am I going to say? What else is there to add? That Tory Lanez was there first, and then Meg Thee Stallion showed up? Some people were saying that Meg Thee Stallion wanted Tory Lanez to leave. Other people were saying not. Some people were saying that Tory Lanez, Meg Thee Stallion started a fight, and that's why they were all asked to leave. So can I just say something else? Just a whole nother thing. So y'all have never telling me that y'all have never seen some dude at the party, or some dude guy at the party, don't even matter, their significant other show up and start a situation so they got to leave with them? Am I the only one that's ever seen this? Now you add that to allegedly Tory Lanez was all over Kylie Jenner. Who's Kylie Jenner's man at the time? She was seeing Travis Scott, right? Didn't Tory Lanez and Travis Scott almost get into a fight? Well, Tory Lanez wanted to fight Travis Scott. Travis Scott really didn't want to fight the dude. Are we talking about the same? This is the same situation in the hotel room, right? Remember when I was, we spoke about this so many times before, and I said the reason why I believe that Tory Lanez got found guilty of this, whether he did it or not, has a lot to do with that he broke his covenant with the Most High. He was chasing after women that were somebody else's woman. The Most High says, do not covet thy neighbor's wife. So he can't walk around with him and his pops, with all due respect. This is no disrespect intended. But he can't walk around with him and his father, who I think do preach and minister, while you're not attempting. See, we can never be perfect. None of us. And this is not me holding judgment over him neither. But there's supposed to be an effort. We're not supposed to say, okay, well, you know, we're not going to get 100 on that test. Fuck it. And pull it up and throw it out the window. There's supposed to be effort. A man that cannot control his desires will be slave to them. How did Mike Tyson go down? How do so many of our people go down? Sometimes the Most High really is gifting us. He's giving us a gift. And when he gives us a gift, I promise you, Satan gonna pull up, and he gonna want to use that as much as that gift is possible that's in you until he's used it up. Not everybody has the patience to wait for the Most High to come, for it to be the right time for your gift to be used. Not everybody has that patience. In Mike Tyson's situation, I think it kind of went, that's just what that was meant to be, because Cus D'Amato wasn't going to live forever. Tragedy always follows those who's touched by the Most High. Tragedy always follows, because Satan is always on their heels. So when I say that Tory Lanez broke his covenant with the Most High, I'm basically saying that that man was extremely talented. We do a lot on our own, but sometimes a lot of this shit is intuitive. And the reason why it's intuitive is because you've been touched. You think that you don't even understand why sometimes you can do things so easily that you've never seen before. Because some things are just going to be intuitive to that person, and other things are going to be intuitive to that person where you're just going to pick it up like that. Not everybody is meant to do everything. With that being said, Tory Lanez is going to have to spend those 10 years. There's nothing anybody is going to be able to do about that. He's just going to have to eat that time. And just so we can be clear, us as men and women, just people, we have to stop putting ourselves in these compromising positions and situations. We have to try harder. Because he put himself in a compromising situation, so did the people that was in that vehicle with him. And just so we could just explain how his lawyer screwed up, whether he did this or not. If the whole entire time Tory Lanez is saying that there was a relationship between him and that girl, so it was a three-way relationship. His lawyer did not use that at all. He just bumped up against the wall a little. He ain't kick it down. They were so sure, or whatever the case might be, that it was going to go their way, that they didn't do their due diligence. And that's why you score 50, even when you only got to score 35. that being said, I appreciate everybody that stepped in. If I see a different topic I'm gonna address, we're gonna come right back with another live. I probably prefer to do it like this. I'm very happy that I cut the live short this morning. Just I worked on something else, got other things we got to do also over here. So I appreciate everybody for coming in. Hit that like button if you like the content. If you don't like the content, I understand you're not hitting the like button. It's just fine. That being said, like, comment, subscribe, join the notification gang, hashtag Bronx Bombers. Let's get it. I love y'all. Take care of each other, and that's all I got on this one. I'm out.